Hi, my name is Courtney Lewis. On the MBNU page, and our class is actually Courtney Sloan. It's never been changed from to my married name. But anyways, I am doing my introduction video, and I am excited about this class, and I'm eager to learn and to understand more about literacy and how to help children, how to help students in my classroom, and also future um, down the line, and um, being able to help my daughter learn versus the way I learned. So, which I'll be talking about later in my video. Um, but after reading and learning about balanced literacy framework, I feel I have a better understanding of what it is and how it can help students. Before researching and looking into what the balanced literacy framework was, I don't know if I've ever even heard of the term, let alone knowing what it was. So I found it very interesting, and I also found that it is actually a lot different than what I had when I was growing up. One statement that I found to be really good, and it also helped me kind of understand it a little bit better, was balanced literacy is a framework that gives equal attention to reading and writing instructions. Um, I like the fact that the balanced literacy balance focuses on both and connects them both to each other. I think that it helps bridge that gap between the two. I like that it helps all students versus just like one or two. Um, I like that it also um, doesn't single out somebody that struggles with reading versus struggling with writing. I think that it does a really good job of working across the board with it. I also like the various different activities that you can do with balanced literacy. I like the fact that you can work with small groups, you can do a read aloud. Um, I also think like being able to allow students to work together and work as a class versus singling somebody out is really good. I mean, my personal experience was I was singled out in a sense. It didn't really affect me too much, but I do remember like going out of the classroom to work on reading um, because I struggled with it as a student versus the other students that didn't struggle with it. Um, and I just remember always going in and out of the classroom when everybody else got to stay. So I think that it's nice that you can incorporate it in your everyday things that you're doing with your students. I think balanced literacy has many benefits um, that the other types of learning and teaching um, don't have. I think, like I stated before, like working one on one with a student is great, but it also sometimes singles students out and they feel uncomfortable. So I like the fact that you can work as a whole, um, and that, like I said, it's reading and writing. It's not just one. So even if you are working with a student, it could be a group of students. Um, like I stated previous, like I struggled with reading and writing, but mainly reading when I was younger. I ended up working back in the 90s when I was going to school. I remember using Hooked on Phonics. I remember that was like the big thing to do, and my parents got it. So I remember using phonics when I was growing up. It worked really well for me um, because I struggled with the reading aspect, but I can see how it can be limited to only a select few of people versus um, this balanced literacy framework works with both, so you have a wide range of students that you'll be able to help. So phonics helped me to read, but it really didn't help me to write. And I didn't realize how much that it was going to be a struggle until I got older. Um, but I remember learning to like sound out a word and to be able to sound it out when I see it, but then to spell it was a whole nother story. Whenever somebody would give me a word and try to spell it, it was a lot more difficult than like somebody saying, "Here's the word cat. How do you sound it out?" I remember learning to like I said, sound out the words, but also like seeing how it's broken down. And I believe that like the phonics, the Hooked on Phonics, didn't help me to connect that reading goes hand in hand with writing. I feel like whenever I was trying to spell words, that I would spell them how they sounded to me versus how they're actually spelled. And I think that really confused me later down the road. Um, I think that with this balanced literacy framework, the lessons take both the reading and the writing and works on them together versus one versus the other. So it helps the students have a better understanding of how, when you're reading, this is how you sound out words, but when you're writing, this is, the correct way to know how to spell a word. So it kind of just works on both equally, which I think is really good. Balanced literacy really, I think, can help students learn and also understand the word. I remember knowing, like, okay, this, like I said, like for my explanation was like, this is cat, CAT. Obviously, I know what a cat is, but like to be able to know the definition of it, words was really hard for me to understand too. So I think with the reading and the writing together, it kind of helps you understand that. And I just remember learning, like I said, learning words with phonics that I didn't understand it. So I think all in all, I think balanced literacy framework is really good, and I kind of am eager to like work on it with my students in my classroom, and then down the line with my daughter, um, way down the line. She's only 3 months old, so um, work with her and really focus in on the aspect of reading and writing versus just reading. So thank you, and I'm excited to learn with everybody and just excited about the class and just to continue my education and so that I can help others that struggle just like I did. Again, thank you very much.